Hello and welcome to the quarterfinal round of the 2019 Kickball Circuit Cup Championship. I'm Patty Cullum alongside of Avery Floyd, and we are in the round of 8. Coming up, we have Flying V out of Atlanta, Georgia, facing off against Brola out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Brola made it to 4 events this year. The Big Easy Kickball Open, the Savannah Kickball Open, the Dallas Kickball Open, and the Kansas City Kickball Open. They were the champion of the Big Easy Kickball Open, made the Final Four of Savannah. They were the co-champion, Final Four of the Dallas Kickball Open, and they made the Elite 8 in the Kansas City Kickball Open. They have elected to be home. They are taking the field first. They ranked number 2 after this year's circuit tour. They will be facing off against Flying V. Historically, Flying V has been a very, very strong squad. They've even won the Kickball Circuit Championship some years ago.
But they ran into Macaroni in D.C., so I don't
That's
know.
right.
I don't know nothing about that.
Of note, D.C., the D.C. Kickball Open. That is the only tournament that Flying V made it to this year. They were 3-0-1 in pool play. They got knocked out in the Sweet 16. And even though that did qualify them for this tournament, they came in this morning ranked absolutely dead last. They were 30th out of 30 teams. But my understanding is they went 4-0 in pool play, and, well, they clearly won their Sweet 16 round because now they are facing off against Brola in the Elite 8 here on the featured field in Atlanta, Georgia.
And from my understanding, in D.C., they were short of players, but it didn't matter because Revamp had their number.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing Flying V probably has most of the people they want today, so we'll have to see how this plays out. Brola is a strong squad, but Flying V, they are a clever squad. They are an experienced squad, a lot of strong players. I don't know. I think I'm leaning Flying V on this one, but they're not. It's not going to be an easy walk. Brola's going to give them a run for their money.
Yeah, these teams actually have a history of battling against each other. They faced off last year in the Limbs on this very same field, actually. I believe Flying V came in with a victory in a hotly contested battle. I mean, these games are usually heated between the two of them.
For those who identified a new voice to our commentary booth, we've got a guest commentator this time. We appreciate the insight, but be a professional and introduce yourself. Who are we talking to?
Hey, Patty, thank you. My name is Kyle Tyson. I play for Sitch, the defending champions. Our day ended a little early. That's why I'm in the booth right now. It was a little bit of a disappointing run, but I'm here to watch some kickball.
For those who have followed Kickball 365 over the years, Sitch has been a traditionally, historically very, very strong team, generally making it to the Final Four, championship, at all sorts of tournaments. But they didn't do it today. Got a little sleepy in pool play, got knocked out, which is good for us because now we get Kyle Tyson sitting with us in the booth to commentate on this game. Starting things off, Brick Fawcett up to kick for Flying V. Lays down a nice little bunt, but doesn't quite make it in time. Bunts a little bit too far on the inside. Brola Charger able to slurp the ball up, make the chest pass dish to Dre at first base. 1 out. And now up to kick for Flying V. Looks to be, well, can't quite see his jersey. Too many people in the way. This is the downside of a Limbs. Everybody shows up. That was Cameron Thompson in the 2 spot, going for a bunt again. Gets under it, pops it up. And Brola's Charger able to sneak into foul territory, slurp up the catch, and immediately we have 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning in this quarterfinal match. Up to kick now is Michael Schulte for Flying V. 3 kicker. He's got 2 outs and nobody on base that he's protecting. So we'll see if he tries to lay down a decent bunt, show the other 2 how to do it, or if he'll just say to heck with it, take a swing at the ball, see if he can't put it out into the outfield, maybe get a little something started here in this fairly important match.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be kicking here. He was just in the booth with me talking. He broke his pinky finger on his throwing hand there. You can actually see it wrapped up from the booth.
And as we know, you can't kick away with a broken pinky.
I mean, that's an essential appendage.
Well, he does lay down a nice little bunt. They try to make the play at first. It's a little bit off target, but even if it was on target, he was going to make it safe. Schulte does have some speed. And Flying V finally gets a base runner a mere 6 minutes into the game. Derek Johnson, number 4 kicker for Flying V. Two outs, runner on first.
It's a little outside on that ball right there. In this situation, I'm kicking out. I'm trying to get that run in from first.
The important thing is, what is Derek Johnson doing in this situation? Is he kicking out?
Yes.
Okay.
He's the 4th kicker. That's the big kicker. That's the spot for him. Like I said.
Scooped under it a little bit. High fly ball to center field. Easily picked up by Brola.
My ball's deep. You still on the last game?
I'm still on the last game. I'm living in the past.
Come on, Patty.
Of note, just for explanation to our listening audience, most of the teams did indeed submit to us their player names and jersey numbers. So we've been able to keep pretty good track of who's playing in the field, what they're doing, what position they're in. Brola is not one of those teams. We can tell who they are by the names on the back of their jerseys, but apparently they're illiterate because they were incapable of providing us with any paperwork as to who the heck they actually are.
This should not be surprising. They're a bunch of guys from New Orleans, and if you've ever been down to Louisiana and had some experiences down there, this shouldn't be that shocking.
Far be it from me to disparage Louisiana's education system. And actually, far be it for me to disparage that, because I'm certainly not making fun of New Orleans, nor am I making fun of the state of Louisiana. I'm making fun of Brola.
As you guys may not know, Brola stands for Baton Rouge. And what is the L? Louisiana, I suppose. Yes, that's the LA.
That is interesting with the Baton Rouge, because it claims that they're out of New Orleans, Louisiana, which is different from Baton Rouge.
There are a few players from Baton Rouge, though.
Brola's leadoff, S'more, with 2 O's, lays down a nice little bunt up the third base side.
Do you know Picasso?
Easily on base. He's more of a Van Gogh fella.
But he paint well. Whatever he
paints well.
It's going to be a little outside.
Next up for Brola is Youngling. That's at least his nickname. Nobody knows what his real name is.
I believe the 4.4 stands for the alcohol percentage of said beer, Yingling.
Very popular on the East Coast. Not as easy to find on the West Coast.
Yingling is originally brewed in Pennsylvania. That is my state home. It's not great, to be honest.
Can't disagree with you there, Kyle Tyson. I've had it. I was underwhelmed. Pitch is wide to the left on Youngling. Or could it be a misspelling of Youngling? Maybe he's a young fella.
Nah.
Nah, he's not.
4.4.
Oh, he's an old soul. 44 years old. Good Lord, that kid's older than me. Pop-up bunt to the pitcher, easily picked up by J.C. Cashwell.
Again, with these left-hand pitches, it comes right to the plate of your foot. It should be easy bunts down 3. And they can't change it up.
Pick him up, Pat.
The ball curve right into your feet.
I totally agree there. Lefties are my favorite pitchers to face. You already have basically a full half stride to first base if you meet it in front of the plate. No excuses there.
Black Lav up now for Brola. I believe that's what it says in the back of his jersey. Black Lav. There we go. I was correct. Reading is fundamental, kids. Takes a first ball. Another pop-up. Cashwell reaching over the shoulder manages to make the leaping catch. So even after getting their leadoff runner on base, Brola having a tricky time doing anything else with Cashwell's pitches. 2 pop-outs directly back to him. Freezing S'more at first base. And now we've got Fury coming up to kick in the 4 spot. As the 4 kicker, got to expect he's probably swinging away at this point. Just to let's see if he can make something happen. Nice little drill shot to Schulte at Charger.
And that was a husband-to-wife connection there. That was Mr. Schulte to Mrs. Schulte.
For the record, the game has been around long enough that enough players have paired off and married up. And this is one of those cases. Michael Schulte, married to Bridget Schulte. And they'll be talking about that one to their grandkids. I remember in 2019, I picked up a ball and dished it to your grandmother for an out. And that was the beginning of the end for our opponents. Of course, that's going to be many, many years in the future. So the old pastoral image of Michael Schulte in the rocking chair telling this story to his grandkids will not be the case. He'll be in a digital rocking chair. Nobody knows what that actually is, but I'm looking forward to a digital rocking chair. Dan Bartholomew up now for Flying V. Here in the top of the 2nd inning. Takes that first pinch, lays down a bunt, easily gets to first base. Ball goes over. He chooses not to go as Brola has solid backup. So no extra bases for him on the overthrow. Good backup by, it looks like the Brola right fielder, holding an erroneous throw to a simple single. 9 out of 10 times that's going to turn into a double. Jesse Root up now for Flying V. Takes the first pitch, strike. Of note, Flying V is the 2nd Mighty Ducks themed team we've seen on the kickball field today. Obviously, we saw the Gordon Bombays in pool play, and now Flying V in honor of the magnificent secret play that the Mighty Ducks used. Root lays down a nice little gas pedal stomp bunt, but is easily picked up by the catcher. Little spin throw fire to first base, and that is an out.
Now, Patty, I believe you were a former member of the Gordon Bombays.
I have played with the Gordon Bombays, but as you know, Kyle, I've been around this game long enough that there are very few people on this field that I have not played with at one time or another. I'm still working on collecting some players from the East Coast, as I tend to be more West Coast based, but I'm starting to get some East Coast players on my roster.
So you used to play with the people that couldn't catch in the outfield?
I did.
So you played in the outfield and couldn't catch in the outfield?
No. I was the first baseman, and I couldn't catch the ball there.
Birds of a
I would
feather
have been missing the ball
flock
at first
together.
base. Yeah, so
Very average hands.
very average.
So you was a grade C player?
I was. A magnificent backstop, though. Up to kick now for Flying V, we have Chris Hurley. He's got 1 out, but a runner on second base. So a little bit of threat offensively. Takes a ball wide to the left. In order to get to this spot of the round of 8, Flying V beat Savage Shock 2-1 in the round of 16, and Brola defeated Blackout 3-0. So not huge spreads in the games before this one, and this tends to be what happens later in the day. The stronger teams moving on start to work in their eliminations lineup. Hurley with a little pop-up, probably should have been caught, but the pitcher decided that he's done enough work today, anchored himself to the plate, didn't take the 2 steps forward that it would have taken for him to catch that ball. Now, one could also argue that he was just heeling back, staying out of the running lane of his Charger, because the Charger was moving across the field. If he had stepped up to catch the ball, there could have been a collision, and then nobody would have been happy.
I would have did the same thing if I was on the mound. Like I said earlier, he already making a play going to 1, but ball pop up, take that catch. I would have caught it.
I got to tell you this, Avery, though. You wouldn't have looked as good because he just stood on the mound and posed with that magnificent mustache. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2019. Men are still sporting the mustache. I thought they went out in the 1960s, but they did not. Ground ball back to the pitcher from
Jackson was the kicker there.
Number 33. That was Graham Duff.
That was not Graham Duff, trust me.
Well, then, why did he have the wrong number?
That is a great question. You may notice the pitcher with said mustache. He's a little more unconventional than your traditional pitchers. He comes in with a hard underhand bounce and will mix it up with the hard cutter inside left. So it makes it hard to guess what's coming in at you.
Those are the most dangerous pitchers, the ones that have a few different pitches under their belt, especially if they look the same on the initial windup. Most of the pitchers who have different pitches, they'll have a little different initial windup, so you can kind of gauge what kind of a ball it's going to be coming down. Up to kick now for Brola. It is the Dark Knight Batman himself.
Easy out. It's looking like a real easy out on this play.
Batman.
Anybody with Batman on their bat is not for kickball.
Batman flaps the first pitch foul. 1 strike against him.
You think that cost him extra to get the Batman symbol on the back of his jersey?
May have. Pops it up first base side.
Easy out.
Pickup from Johnson. Derek Johnson catches on 1 bounce. Cool little bloop cool little just squip to first base. Look at that. Boom, boom, chest pass. Easy feed to gigantic Ian Anderson. Probably one of the largest players to play first base on the circuit right now. Boy's got to be something like 6'8". Well, maybe not that tall, but still, he is a big target. You know the Charger catcher and pitcher of Flying V appreciate that. Get it anywhere near him, he's got good enough hands. He'll just reach out and slurp it up. Cute sound. Countertop up now for Brola. Takes a second pitch that couldn't quite find the strike zone. Countertop lays down a picture-perfect and absolutely boring bunt. It's not much fun to watch, folks, but good Lord, is that effective on the field as he gets to first base completely uncontested. Catcher realizes he has no shot. Schulte realizes he has no shot at Charger, picks it up, underhands it back to Cashwell. Another solid bunt lands on the line, stays fair, and finally rolls out. That's a very decent little bunt right there by another mustachioed fellow from this Louisiana-based Brola squad.
This player is unfamiliar to me, and I've seen them all.
It must be that stash.
Rourke-Poo.
Ooh.
I'm guessing his last name is Rourke. He's probably a cuddly fellow.
If you've ever met a Louisianan, they pronounce things a little weird down there.
They do.
And he down with an 0-2 count right here. That was a good pitch on that last pitch right there. They got that corner on the left side, which is hard to bunt and react to. That's one advantage of a left-handed pitcher.
Again, a nice little bunt. Just a perfect little dead zone on the left-hand side. And even though Flying V has 1 out against Brola, they give up 2 base runners in a row. Runners on first and second.
Now, this isn't the worst position the defense is in right now. First and second with 1 out. You can easily get out of these innings, especially with a bunter up, which is probably going to happen right here. They're probably just going to advance them to a scoring position.
With a name like Beer Nuts, one has to think that the current Brola kicker is more into the social side of kickball rather than the gameplay side. But that said, he is playing in the Elite 8 at the Circuit Cup Championship, so perhaps he's got some game to him.
And an interesting number, 56. That's usually a very average football player number.
Kyle Tyson, do you honestly believe people who understand and know and enjoy the game of football are watching this right now? It's Saturday. There's college football on. People are more likely to be arguing about Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Michigan Wolverines than paying attention to this game. 1-1 pitch comes from Cashwell. Interesting shot to the right-hand side.
I stand corrected.
Just foul, just foul. Ian Anderson tried to get out and make a play on that. Got a hand on the ball, it looked like.
Did he lose a hairpiece?
Well,
did his toupee come off? He lost his top.
If he lost his wig, there will be hell to pay. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been waiting for these puns all day. I'm glad I can finally get into them in the round of the Elite Eight.
Hey, why don't you say that to the camera?
1-2 to Beer Nuts right now. Here comes the pitch from Cashwell. Nice little tweaky pitch. Good curve cutting across the plate.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's at least 150 degrees on the field. If you'll notice, JC is wearing very baggy sweatpants underneath his shorts.
Oh, that's his swag.
I was thinking about that earlier. That's some stamina. Perfect drill to third base, which means Schulte has to pick the ball up and step on third to get the lead runner out. I can't believe that was intentional. If it was, that was a bad intent.
Selfish.
Well, I think more likely it was just a mixed execution. He was probably trying to get the ball a little bit further into the outfield.
He's over there on one saying, well, I got on. You got to get there. I got on base. You got to make it there.
Coup de grace is up right now for Brola.
Is the S pronounced or is it silent?
Well, if it's coup de grace, it would not be, but I don't know what the, if it's spelled G-R-O-S. Beats me. This is what happens when people don't submit their names to us. Ooh. Chases a deep outside ball, shanks it to the right. Easy play for Cashwell to take a few steps over and slurp that up. So even though Brola decided to try and threaten a little bit by putting some base runners on, they cannot close the deal, and the score is still 0-0.
I mean, I got to say I disagree with the strategy Brola displayed with their past two kickers. I would have bunted with Beer Nuts and advance those runners to second and third. That really opens up the field for either a kick or a bunt on the next player.
You're right. You're definitely right. But me personally,
Listen, we know how you work out there.
Macaroni kicking that thing to the outfield. Tag up.
You're an attention-seeking kicker. Sometimes it's the little things that make a good teammate, Avery.
Kyle Tyson and Avery Floyd offering up an awful lot of strategic decisions for two players who are not on the field playing ball right now.
And my guy pulled up the giant with a stash.
Now,
he got a stash too.
I think Avery and I would both say that we tend to carry our teams.
Hey,
so
definitely that.
We can't perform with our teammates. You know, there's only one of us.
Coming up to kick right now, Nicole Glaug. I don't know if the G is pronounced or not.
I believe you're correct.
Nicole Glaug. Halfway decent bunt, just a little bit short, so an easy play for Brola's catcher to pick up.
Fielded by Blacklaw there. That was an easy bunt.
It
popped
was.
up right into his hands.
And while
one
Bullock,
pitch, one bunt, one out.
Donald Bullock comes up to kick. We are currently joined in the booth by Ian Anderson, Flying V's first baseman. Ian, on that last play with that fly foul ball, did you get a hand on that ball or did it get away from you? He missed it.
He lost his top.
This is an honorable man admitting when he misses the ball. Bullock kicks a really high fly ball to right field. And it is caught. Makes the round trying to get to second, but when he realizes that he's out, he decides to stop running and take the slow stumble of shame.
That's called by Benny in right field. She's a former LSU soccer player.
Oh, that's big time.
Is there a lot of catching of fly balls in the game of soccer? Or as I refer to it, un-American football?
If you're the goalie.
That's very true. I don't believe she was a goalie, but somehow she is an athlete and her skills have translated.
Cashwell decides to throw the ball to the right side again. Benny doesn't quite make the catch as it was just a little bit too deep in foul territory for her to get there.
This is why she was a soccer player, guys.
She can chase the ball down. She knows what to do with it. Whether it's catch it, kick it, hopefully we'll see her up to the plate before too long. So one strike to Cashwell here in the top of the third. Good Lord, we've made it through 2.5 innings and out without scoring. Seen some base runners, seen some runners get close to third base, but nobody has touched home plate yet. Plaint.
Good dogfight game.
Puts it the other direction, left-hand side, and
Ooh.
it swips through her hands.
Look at them sweatpants go.
Oh, he's trying to go for...
Did he miss him?
He missed him. Casual going for a nice, steady, calm jog into second base. I thought they had him out for sure, but a little bit of a mishandle around second base, and Casual is comfortably sitting on second base. So we are 2 outs in the top of the third. This is not a family-friendly show, people. I apologize. 2 outs in the top of the third. Lisa Fishbeck up for Fisbeck. No H in there. I don't know. I prefer Fishbeck. It sounds more interesting. Up to kick for Flying V. She has got a leg. I've got to expect that she's probably going to try and kick it out there, see if she can find a hole.
I don't know. Lisa's more of a bunter. Lisa's actually from Denver, Colorado. She joined Flying V a couple years ago, back when the rules were a little lax with adding players. Well, there she goes. She kicks.
No, she decides to shank it to the first baseman for an out.
Perhaps
angry with herself, she threw something off to the sideline. Looked like it may have been a mouth guard.
I don't know. I think it was sunglasses.
Sunglasses went off to the side.
But I don't think I'm going to get frustrated with that play.
I hope those weren't Ray-Bans, because that's a pricey toss of frustration right there.
Sometimes it's the things we value most that we hurt.
I admit, I have thrown pairs of sunglasses and hats around the field, but those were, what, $6.99 gas station sunglasses. So I didn't mind if they got destroyed.
Why are you throwing anything?
I was angry.
It's an attention-seeking move.
An attention-getting device. I'm well familiar with those.
And then you'll be at your game. And now I'm going to pick on you on next plays. You look frustrated. Don't show emotion unless it's excitement to getting it out.
Yeah, I mean, any negative emotion is going to rub off on your teammates, so I prefer if you're going to show emotion, it should be the positive variety.
It appears as if Flying V is mixing up their pitchers, giving Cashwell a bit of a break. Schulte coming across, trying to do the Superman chest pass, does not get it to Ian Anderson quite in time. And Brola.
That was Lisa Newton with the bunt there. She is incredibly fast. She's also an LSU former soccer player. One of the best girls out there.
And certainly showing her stuff by successfully bunting on to first base in the bottom of the third of this Elite Eight quarterfinals match. Dre now up for Brola.
99 problems, but a kick ain't one.
Ha, I like that. Little knee bunt and successfully makes the throw to second base.
Way to take the lead runner out that play. Now they ain't in the threat of getting no score.
Well done by Derek Johnson. And well done by the girl at second base. She was not on the bag when the throw was let go, but she got there in time, picked up the ball, stepped on the bag, got the out at second. So one down, runner still on first here in the bottom of the third. Jipu now up for Brola. Decent little bunt on the right-hand side, or I'm sorry, left-hand side, but just rolls out. Foul. That's one of those irritating mid-range bunts, just a little too far out for the catcher to make the catch. And unless Schulte is running up on the line, he's going to have a tricky time making a play on that one. Same thing. Good Lord.
That's a good play.
That's a very good play, although
big play.
I have to put that on Dre. He looked like he was slow rolling it to second. I didn't think they were going to have time to make that play, but kind of jogging out there. This is the time of day where things can get tricky. Like I said, these players have played 5 or 6 games. It's hot out there. They're exhausted, but you still got to stay strong. You can't just be jogging stuff out.
Up the bat is Sydney. She's a decent kicker here. Look for her to do that. Oh, I think I was wrong again.
And
another
3
easy
for
out.
3
Yeah.
at second base. Solid play by the Flying V catcher. As we go into the top of the fourth. Flying V's got to be getting close to turning over their kicking order.
You'll see on the right side of the screen right now, Berola is bringing it in. This happens a lot when you have a bad inning. You kind of want to regroup, refocus.
Brola looks to be sending out their third pitcher of the game. No, I'm sorry. We've seen him before. This
is Mario.
That's Mario, the human mustache.
And then we have a mustache on mustache conversation. Perhaps discussing
various waxing
products?
techniques. Yes, yes. Bridget Schulte up to kick for Flying V right now. Here in the top of the fourth. The halfway mark of the game. Figure it's about time to start getting something going. Nice little bunt up the first base side, but easily picked up by Black Lav. Dished to Dre at first. One pitch, one out.
Definitely got the right size at bat catcher to stay low. He's only about 4'11". He can easily get down. He can easily reach that.
He doesn't have to bend down far.
I hope his people wasn't listening.
Mandy Bauer, a.k.a. Bubbles, up to kick now for Flying V.
Well, I hope she don't get her bubble popped.
Good bunter here with above average speed.
What would you consider average speed? 16
Slow.
miles an hour, 17 miles an hour?
Faster than you, Patty.
You want to do a foot race after the game? Holy cow, they called Bubbles out. We're going to want to see the replay on that
we
one.
definitely got to watch this
Seems to be
replay.
some, that was closer than I thought. Here we go on the replay. Good solid little bunt, spin throw, and
wow,
Great
that's
call.
close.
you know
Great
what?
call by Leo.
As I've called them before, that's one of those ones you can't argue either way. That one was so darn close.
Great call by Blue. Good job out there, Leo.
And that will turn over the kicking order. It looks like we've got a...
So in this situation, he was the last kicker. They walked him with no pitch. He automatically get 2 bases so they can get to the top of their lineup. Might be a good strategy for the defense. This leading off is Brick. To get this out, it'll be bothering the next inning lineup.
Brick watches the first strike go by in a kick-away situation. Brick does have a pretty solid kick, but he could lay down a bunt just to confuse everybody. Brick, one of the craftier, more devious players on the field.
Pitcher asked him would he go ahead and walk him since he took the first pitch as a strike.
The pitcher there was asking if they're going to walk him or not. It appears they're going to pitch to him.
I pitched to him. He ain't that good.
We know that.
Oh, that's down.
Deep shot to right field. Dre was backing up, but it looks like Benny was coming in. No difficulties getting down and making that catch. Reasonable shot. That had to be the one Brick was looking for. But unfortunately, kicked it well within Benny's zone of travel. A few steps in, drops down to the knee, slurps up the ball. Not the end of the world for Flying V's offense, as they will be starting the next inning with their number 2 kicker. So they can't complain about that too much. And it looks like Eric Jackson is now taking the mound for Flying V, and Benny, who made the spectacular catch to end the previous, the top of the fourth, will be leading off here in the bottom of the fourth.
Great snag by the ref there.
Third base ump decides he wants to get involved as well. I don't blame him. He's standing there watching people kick and throw the ball all day. He hasn't been able to get a hand on it.
Got a little excited, too.
He did. He made a good catch. Benny looking for the little line drive shot to get on. does not appear to want to challenge Schulte at charger or risk leaving it short.
But all that work on defense, she might be too tired to even run the base. So she's looking for a hole. They've been picking on her all day over there behind first base.
Well, they've been picking on her, but it ain't been working. She's catching everything they're tossing at her.
That was a weird pitch there.
A weird pitch. Benny got a little bit jammed up, had to swing at it with 3 strikes on her. Goes for a little bit of an attempted left-footed kick.
Now, I know, Macaroni, you're a pitcher as well, so am I. That's a pitch you throw when you're way ahead in the count. You can really mix it up when you're ahead in the count.
It was in the zone, so maybe something of a changeup. Just confused her on the timing. No pitch right there. Apparently there's still some discussion. Oh, we've got an equipment timeout in left field. Somebody had to tie the shoe. Haven't these people heard of Velcro? Mario is now up to kick. We know his mustache can pitch well. Can his mustache kick well? There's only one way to find out.
He looked more like Luigi.
The little knee bunt. Easily picked up by Jackson, dished over to Brick Fawcett, who's taking the spot at first base for this inning. For the easy second out of the bottom of the 4th.
Oftentimes when you have 2 outs with your leadoff up, it's a kick situation, and they'll tell you to run until you get out, essentially.
The double or nothing protocol.
We'll see what happens here.
S'more takes a ball wide to the left. Beautiful little chip shot on the left side. Lisa Fisbeck gets her hands on the ball.
And that's exactly what happened.
And S'more just runs himself into the out.
Most teams use that strategy. I tend to think in a close game, like any base runner is a good thing, and anything can happen with 2 outs and a runner on. But they chose to stop the next inning with their number 2 kicker.
If I'm flying V, I'm gonna let him be safe and just get the ball to the pitcher and just see if we can take out the head of their lineup.
Yeah.
That would be my strategy. Let him stay at.
Yeah, you can kill the play if you just get it back to the pitcher.
Just give it back to the pitcher.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think that was an option in that situation. Ball bounced off of Lisa Fisbeck's hands.
Yeah, but you can always get the play back to the pitcher and kill the play.
Wasn't enough time. He's probably already rounded by that point.
Yeah, so leave him safe at 2. And then you take
It's a riskier play, yes. But then you could burn the next guy, walk him, and then force the number 3 kicker to kick.
Cameron Thompson up to kick, number 2 kicker for Flying V, leading off this top of the 5th inning.
I believe, despite looking like a child, Cameron just had a kid. Yes. He's a married man with a kid, so congratulations to him.
Even the ref was confused.
He had to think twice about that one, but he liked it as a strike, just touched the corner. Right idea for the bunt. Kept low, short enough to keep it out of the Chargers' hands, long enough to make the catcher have to make a hell of a play on it if he wanted it. Trouble is, it was on the foul side of the line. Takes his count to 0-2. Good bunt.
Yeah, great bunt there.
Plenty of speed. It was a close play, but
see, in that situation, I only want 1 charge. Trust the one that's there. 2 people, they hesitant of who gonna make the play on the ball, so it's not really a good movement to that ball.
Totally agree.
Even that half beat of hesitation is enough.
That's all it takes.
It is a game of milliseconds, as they say.
And now up comes Michael Schulte. Runner on, 1 out, top of the 5th inning. I'm sorry. No outs. Runner on, no outs, top of the 5th inning. And this would be the fine time for Flying V to try and get something started, to plate a run.
Completely blew getting your lead off on. You can't pop it up there. You've got to advance into at least second.
Just got a little too much underneath it.
He went for the double play there. He's back in time, Cameron.
Great pitching by Mario. Got him confused at the plate.
That'll happen with his pitching. It comes in, he has a topspin to it, which makes you pop it up if you're not over top of the ball.
Derek Johnson up to kick. Lays
Looks
off
like
of
he's
that
swinging.
one. Looks like he's swinging. Chose not to take that one. Didn't like it. Didn't think he was going to get a good foot on the ball. And I think probably wisely chose to keep his foot up, not take the swing. That one he did want. Gets it right over the charger.
Great kick by Johnson.
Yeah, he made solid contact there. Really squared up on it well.
No extra bases, though, which is too bad. That's something that Flying V probably would have liked right now. Now comes up Dan Bartholomew.
Say it one more time.
Dan Bartholomew.
Got a defensive switch going on. Brola looks like they're expecting Dan to kick. This will happen sometimes. Defenses will bring in a girl to play first base and bring an extra male outfielder in.
Well, right now it looks like
it doesn't look like that.
No,
this
they're not.
This
They're
is strange.
Just shuffling around. Maybe they got better personnel to put in the outfield who can cover more ground. They've got two. Well, they've only got one out.
Yeah, only one out.
So maybe they're putting people out there for the throw as well as the catch. Because in a situation like this, with runners on first and second, a deep ball could indeed move the runners. So you want good cannons out there to bring the ball in.
Looks like Dan is lining up for a kick here. Now they're going to try and land one and bring this runner in rather than advance the runners to second and third.
So it really becomes
I
a
say
factor
line drive to second.
how good of a foot he puts on the ball.
Because there's a hole right there in second. There's nobody there.
Yeah, that is
Catches
interesting.
the inside
Yes.
corner. Dan is not necessarily thrilled about that strike call, but pitcher Mario just kisses the left side of that zone.
And there's nobody at second. So even if they make a play to get the person from first in time, the runner can score from second.
Takes a shot. It's up to the right-hand side. Benny getting under it, makes the catch. And Brola makes the blind fire into home, which allows
Johnson to advance to second.
Johnson gets to second. So
I mean,
now
it wasn't the best kick, but they actually got a good result out of this. They advanced two runners into scoring position with 2 outs here. Jesse Roots up. He's one of Flying V's best kickers. Really good line drive kicker. He'll
So
probably
in this
attack the
situation,
first
as
one.
In the pitcher, if I get the first strike, I might load the bases up to make a forced play at all bases.
Yeah, that's my guess what'll happen as well.
in a case like that, I think you want to play the call the strike. And let's see if
They're
they're
going to walk him.
They're going to put him on.
Yeah, he's a good kicker. That's
Yeah.
what you want to do. He wasn't happy with the strike call.
Yeah, cases like that, you definitely want to play the kicker more than the situation. Putting a
He appears to be refusing to go to first
Refusing.
base, and he's finally walking to first.
okay. Situations like that, putting a runner on first to create a force at every bag doesn't necessarily help a whole lot, because since there are 2 outs, runners are going to be moving on contact, so there's no risk of catching anybody waiting to see if the ball lands.
This helps with grounders to second base and shortstop.
Anything near a bag, yeah.
Did they make a sub? for
It
kicking?
looks like it. Todd Carey is in the game. I don't believe we've seen him before.
Is this a sub?
I believe it is. People are making various notations of it.
Teams that carry deep rosters often will put subs, male subs or female subs, and they usually are good kickers or good bunters.
Situational substituting, as it were.
Indeed.
Carey watches the first pitch come in for for a strike. I imagine if he sees one that is that straight and reasonable again, he's going to try to put a good foot on it. Pitch for Mario.
Mario is throwing that.
Catching
He's
that.
going to save himself. I
Yeah,
got
it's tough
Mario
pitch.
striking him out on
Yeah,
a
it's
foul
tough
out.
pitch.
Catching that right side corner with just a little bit of elevation.
He's winding up all the way from second base. So I know he's throwing about 100 miles per hour.
Way ahead in the count here.
Carey not wanting to let another one go by with that outside right side high ball. Just tries to put a foot on it. Catches it on the
You're going to see an absolute filthy pitch here.
Perfect opportunity for a filthy pitch with an 0-3 count. Bases loaded. This is Flying V's best chance thus far this game to plate a run. One bounce. Oh, that takes courage for Carey to lay off of that one.
I agree. That was close.
That was very close. It was right up the middle. Whew. Give him this. He's got composure.
Or maybe he's just tired. That's why he's walking.
It could be. I don't know if I could have taken or let that one go without a mild heart attack. And a weird little dribbler. Easily dished back to catcher. Youngling slurps it up at home plate for the force out at home. I stand corrected regarding the walk, because if it weren't for the walk, you don't get that force out at home.
That's why you don't play no more.
This is why your team never won anything, Patty.
This is why you don't play no more, Patty.
I'll have you know, I scored the go-ahead run for the championship team in San Diego of 2000.
1992.
It may have been 92. I've been around a while.
There are a few people still playing out here. We got a couple of over 40-plus players still in the fields right now.
But Patty's 62.
Oh, Patty, I didn't know.
You just keep getting older throughout the day. So we are going into the bottom of the 5th inning. There is still no score, and I, Patty Culliman, being heckled by two people who could legitimately be my offspring.
How you doing, Pops?
No, seriously, it's true. I could be.
Cause you 62.
I was at Charlotte in my younger days. Youngling up to kick for Brola. Look, folks, we're doing the best we can with the commentary. It's a 0-0 ball game in the bottom of the 5th. Sure, there's been some great defense and some close plays to almost score, but ultimately, nothing's really happened that has affected the outcome of the game. So, well, we're getting a little punchy here in the booth.
Hey, you got to do something.
Got to do something. Eric Jackson on the mound again for Flying V.
Too bad there's a double team on you.
Right?
Young guys gets the old guy.
Exactly. Youngling lays down a bunt. Looks like it may have been about to spin foul, but Dan went ahead not to take the risk, picked it up, throwed it to first base. Listen to me. Threw it to first base. Brick on first base way too late.
And when you're hesitant, you ain't gonna never make that play.
That hesitation all the time in the world. Never mind that it was off target. So Black Lav up to kick now.
It's a Black Wall, not Lav.
Black Wall?
Law.
Law.
Wow.
Love.
Love.
Law.
Low.
Law. L-A-W.
L-A-V. It's a V.
No, that's a W. Trust me. Look, you can see on the screen. Well, you can't really.
It looked like a V from here.
And it was a bad fold. Regardless, whatever his name is, he's on first base.
Kind of got away with a bad bunt there. The catcher over-pursued that one.
Might have been a bad bunt from you, but for him, that was a great bunt.
That is a definite Irish single, and right in the great spot. Moves his runner to second.
Because with the back catcher going so hard, just leave it in front, he's too much ahead of the ball. He got to come back to the ball. It's going to be safe every time.
Fury up to kick. Beautiful bunt down one. Picked up and dished out
textbook.
At first, but that is absolutely textbook. That is the kickball script.
Oh, we got Batman again.
And that is that. All of a sudden, here in the bottom of the 5th.
This is the best chance Brola's had to score runs.
Brola is threatening hard against Flying V.
Looks like they're going to bring it in back in JC.
Defensive substitution. Cashwell back to the mound.
So in that situation, it's still 0-0. He been pitching great. I don't think I would have made a sub in the first place. They've been struggling with that left hand. Now they put him in a bad situation. I say Batman kick this out and get the first point of the game.
Well, here comes the 0-0 pitch from Cashwell.
Probably just going to eat that, yep. Schulte eats it.
Called foul, called foul.
Not sure why that was called foul. It must have bounced. The first bounce must have been out of foul territory.
It was in the foul territory.
Okay.
So another chance right there.
But if I'm Batman, I'm running regardless. Regardless of what they call.
Yeah.
Let the ref make the call. Don't let the teams haul out.
Yeah, always run it out.
Run it out.
Now there's discussion as to whether or not to walk him. I don't know. With one
I would
out,
think they're going to walk him here just to get the force situation that we discussed earlier.
Yep, only one out, so it will freeze the base runners for a ball in the air.
Wow, that's a weird call there. It appears to be fair. And he ruled fair. Regardless, he's going to be walked.
So same result either way. Who knows how it'll go down in the books? Honestly, who cares? All we know is the bases are loaded, one out, countertop is up. Trying Berola's first chance, well, not the first, but currently best chance to bring in a run this game.
He liked it that one.
He
But I don't
liked
know why
it.
he didn't. I don't know why he did not take that one.
Didn't start his approach to the ball until a little bit too late. He knew if he'd got a foot on it, wouldn't have had any power behind it at all. And at this point, he definitely wants to get it out of the infield. That doesn't make it out of the infield. Also doesn't make it into fair territory. So we're at 0-2 to countertop.
He look a little nervous now. I don't know why. All you got to do is get your laces on the ball. It's going to go there.
Lisa with the
Oh
catch.
my God!
God.
Doubled up, and Flying
Flying
V gets out of a
V.
jam.
Doesn't even have to get crafty about it. Lisa makes the catch, dishes to second base on too aggressive of base running. That is exactly what we were talking about with
That
the
is
whole idea
horrible
of
base running. You cannot go there on contact.
not with one out. You need to stay frozen on the bases.
The runner's going to score on a catch there. You can't.
Especially if you're on second base.
You on
need
second
to
base, you
fold.
do not
If-
move at all.
If that ball grounds, let yourself get forced out because it frees up
Yep.
your runner on
The run's
third to
going
get
score
home.
regardless if you hold. It doesn't
Oh.
matter.
Point taken.
Flying.
Why would you move?
Flying V makes an incredible defensive play on some questionable base running by Brola. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into the top of the sixth inning in this quarterfinal match. Still no score. Eric Jackson coming up to kick for Flying V. Mario Mustachio still on the mound for Berola. You know what?
No disrespect to the women. Great play by her.
Amazing.
But if she catch that ball and I'm at 3, I am coming home. I'm coming home.
Well, I mean, I think
On the tag up.
she saw the runner in front of her, and then went to 2 to get the force, to get the double play.
So
Smart play on her.
Even if you make it home, you don't plate because 2 outs, and that is technically a forced play at second.
My second base runner.
Double kick.
Do not move. It's only 1 out. You can't score from second if the ball that short.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to point out that Avery's arrogance with his skill at the game is now translating to his phantom teammates.
For those of you at home that are not familiar with Avery, he's new to this game, but he talks like he's been around for years.
But I make a big name for myself on that field.
Jackson with the 0-2 takes a ball wide to the left.
Now, this game might be boring to some of you just watching, but I can guarantee you both teams are incredibly tense every single at-bat during this game.
They are sweating it, and not just due to the humidity, which is currently about 83%.
It's a great pitch.
Good pitch, forcing Jackson into a pop-up bunt. Easily fielded by the outside charger. 1 out. Nicole Glaug coming up to kick.
So when is going to be a good time to start taking chances? Because Flying V has not had no chances like how the Brola's been doing.
About 3 innings ago, I'd guess. Nicole takes the first pitch for a strike.
So we're getting into the point of the game where teams are starting to think about overtime. I don't think we've had a circuit overtime game yet, but it really matters where you end in your lineup. We'll explain the rules if it comes to that.
Mario throwing a grounding duffer, just drilling that first bounce into the ground with the pitch. Sort of a modified changeup for kickball pitching. Generally tends to work better in grass than on turf. Nicole not happy with that bunt. Again, in the air. Got underneath it. Easy, easy play for the Charger just to slurp it up.
To do what?
Slurp it up. Donald Bullock
Slurp, slurp.
up now for
Slurp.
Flying V.
They call this man the Duck, as his first name is Donald. I believe he's a car salesman. Yes, we do have actual jobs out here. We don't get paid that much, if anything.
Let's go Donald Duck.
Donald does not agree with that strike. Getting some clarification with the ump about that one. And I believe that takes the count to 0-2. But I could have dreamt that first pitch. No, it is 0-2. Now they're having a deep discussion as to the strike zone. Donald unable to successfully plead his case. Count is still 0-2. With 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. And a nice little ground ball, a.k.a. a worm burner. Outside charger just faded a little bit too far back, expecting a bigger kick. Not able to get to the ball in time, leaving Donald Bullock plenty of time to get to first base.
Now we up have JC. He's a big kicker, one of those all or nothing guys.
And he definitely going to Benny, and Benny going to make the play like she been doing all game.
Yep.
She going to do a sliding catch on this one. Everybody going to go crazy.
No, instead he pops it up very, very high to the middle left side. Easily caught. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going into the bottom of the 6th inning. This is the opportunity for Brola to either pull a walk-off or for Flying V to keep themselves alive and sneak into the circuit overtime rules.
Take a seat, Graham.
Looks like no significant defensive shuffling for Flying V. Cashwell on the mound, Schulte charging, Johnson catching, and Brick is going to stay at first base instead of Ian Anderson. First one up to kick is Rookie Poo. Catches the ball a little bit up on his foot right off the toes. Shanking it off, well, sliding it off to the right-hand side.
Well, everybody keeps screaming, Doug got it, Doug got it. Can Doug do it? Let's go, Doug.
Bunt up the middle, easy pickup for Schulte. Quick chest pass to Brick for the out.
He definitely up there posing. He's trying to get a nice profile picture over there at first base.
Good stretch. Good little reach. Had to pause just to make sure that the still can make the highlight reel. Beer Nuts up next.
What's your favorite beer nut, Patty? While drinking, while consuming.
I'm a fan of
the cashew
Guinness.
guy?
Guinness is a tasty one.
Oh, I'm talking about the nuts you consume while drinking.
I'm a cashew guy. I'm a walnut guy. I'm a pecan guy. Really, I'm anything except for corn nuts. Corn nuts are not real food. 0-2 to Beer Nuts. One down here in the bottom of the 6th.
Beer Nuts, no balls.
Brola trying to see if they can make something crazy happen. Bunt up the middle, Cashwell picks it up, fires it to first,
Wow,
and
Brick
slurps it up. 2 outs.
With the shape of the field, that left-hand thing, you got to do that spin throw. He did it perfect.
It's a hard play to execute for a lefty pitcher. They have to grab the ball and spin and fire to first base, and he did it perfectly there.
Stayed
right
on target.
On the banger.
Coup de gros. Fly ball to the left-hand side.
Called Mandy Bubbles Brower off by Cameron Thompson, right over top of her. And looks like we're going to extra innings.
We are going to OT. So quick primer on the rules for OT. Defense loses 2 players, so it's 8 players in the field, 4 of each gender, 4 ladies, 4 gentlemen. And does offense start with any advantage in this one?
No.
Not
It's
necessarily.
a regular inning.
Just a regular
4
inning.
strikes, 4 balls, same old, regular game, just an extra inning. It just they take off and have 8 players, 4 and 4.
So certainly going to be some more gaps and
But if
holes
it's a
in
double
the field.
overtime, you get the lead off with a person your last out on second base.
One thing to note is that I would give a slight advantage to Brola here. They ended their lineup in the middle Whereas Flying V, it appears they're starting towards the bottom with their females.
I will counter that with the flip side being Flying V has been in overtime situations many times during tournaments, even in a Circuit Cup championship. So they are not unfamiliar with this situation.
But they definitely lost a revamp last tournament in an overtime
Oh, was it
situation.
really? Okay. Do we know if Brola has any experience in OT with the
I believe they actually
Same
lost
round.
on this very same field last year in overtime. So I would say advantage Flying V in that regard.
Yep. I can totally see that. I don't even question that.
We already talked about it. We already doing it. We already doing it.
My memory is a steel trap. Brick tried to remind us of that game I just mentioned, and it was accurate.
But too bad they wasn't good against revamp.
That is true. There's only one person in this entire field area talking about revamped, and that's Macaroni right now.
I'm going to talk about my team. I just wish we was here.
So Flying V is going to start off with Lisa Fisbeck here in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, last time she was up, y'all said she was kicking out. She kicked out. In this situation, I might just try to get on.
I expect her to bunt here.
Put that on the YouTube screen. Here's why Miller sitting on the field. I've had 2.5 hours of sleep and I've had nothing but beer and burritos for the last 2 days. Imagine what that's gonna look like.
All right, looks like everybody's settled in. Defense is set. Lisa is comfortably in the box. Home plate up indicates it's time to play ball. Mario's still on the mound. First pitch comes down. One bounce. Lisa lets it by. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Also wide. Not sure if Mario's just trying to keep some odd pitches coming down or if he's starting to feel a little bit of that fatigue here in the 7th inning of the quarterfinals game. Bouncing around a little bit, trying to get his energy level up. Finally gets a strike across the plate.
This is where pool play management comes into play with your pitchers. I believe Brola doesn't pitch Graham throughout pool play at all, so he appears to have a decent amount of energy right now.
Wonderful bunt from Lisa. Catches the Charger a little bit too inside. Not able to get out for the catch. Certainly not able to make a play. And Flying V now has the go-ahead run on first. And it looks like Brick is making another substitution adjustment. Looks like Caprice Clowney coming in to kick.
AKA Chevy.
Chevy.
Easy out.
Easy out, but you know her prime goal has to be at least move her base runner around to second, preferably third.
They probably bought in one of their best bunter subs for this situation.
Perfect bunt up one.
Oh,
Looks like she's
she's
gonna
on.
beat it out.
Oh, that's big. Oh, that's big.
And Lisa holds at 2.
Wow, I
mark
stand
my
corrected.
words.
The females are executing well on the top of this overtime
Mark my
inning.
word, she is on.
Manny Brower, a.k.a. Bubbles, up to kick for Flying V.
If I'm not mistaken, in this situation, I would do the same thing Chevy just did.
Absolutely.
But back up 1.
Push it up 1.
The pitcher and the catcher is off. They don't know who's going to get the ball. I say everybody safe again. And that's what she's doing.
Brola making a defensive adjustment, bringing in S'more over to be a mirror Charger on the right side of the field. We'll see if he thinks he has a play to third or if they'll just dish for the out at first. 2 gentlemen on the right-hand side now. And even more shuffling around. It's like a card trick out there, folks. Brola trying to get away with some 3-card Monty. Here comes the pitch from Mario.
Wow, got the force out of 3.
Just a little bit short.
Great play.
Allowing
Heads
Youngling
up
to
play.
pick up the ball, fire to third, getting Lisa out at third base. So 1 out, runners still on first and second. Graham Duff up to kick.
And that's why in that situation, you got to push that ball farther out to first base
Graham?
to secure the runner getting a 3. You left it short, back catcher made the right play, got the force out at 3.
Graham lining up what could be for a kick situation.
Yeah, he's a lefty, so he's lined up for the kick here.
Doesn't want to hook it too far to the right to get it into Benny's zone.
Also, Benny is his girlfriend, so I think he's going to try and avoid her and avoid any awkward situations later.
Could make for a good strategic decision in the game, a less good strategic decision in the relationship. Here comes the pitch from Mario. One and one to Duff. 1 ball, 1 strike. Little bloop to the left-hand side, caught.
Oh my God,
And
Chevy!
Wow.
You gotta stay there.
Chevy falls
gotta
prey to their
stay
own trap.
there.
Once again, does not stay successfully anchored to second base. And Flying V, while threatening,
Knowing that ball is still in the air, just stay on base. Get the tag up if you can. No, you do not leave second base. Once
Lisa,
again, you cheat off second base, double play at second. Both teams staying alert, doing what they're supposed to do.
and now we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, this is a chance for Brola to pull a walk-off. We'll see how Flying V sets up their 8-person defense.
That was a great play by Lisa Fisbeck in the top of that inning to get that double play. She tracked the ball well, read the runner from second base, and got the double play. So let's see if they can close this game out. She's leading this inning off, actually.
I have to correct you there. I believe Lisa Fisbeck is playing for Flying V. This is
sorry, Lisa Newton.
Lisa Newton, there we
Another
go.
Lisa.
Lets the first pitch go wide to the right.
All pressure's on both teams. Still got to make plays.
Flying V hoping to get out of this without a run plating. If they do, Flying V will be at the top of their lineup, which is a very good position to be in the top of the 8th. But Brola in a situation to score a run and plate themselves a walk-off here in the bottom of the 7th. Little bunt up 1. Nicole picks it up. Superman throw to first. Bobbled at first base. Brick not able to hang on to it well. And Lisa successfully at first base.
Vicky
Great
tries
play
to
by
lay-
Nicole, by Nikki. And well, I don't know if it was a bobble or if the catch pulled him off the bag. Either way, I don't know if I can disagree with that call of safe at first. Dre up now for Brola. No outs, bottom of the 7th.
It's still
Going to stop and confer with his teammates, figure out the best thing to do. Trying to figure out the best way to get on base / move the runner around. Looks like they are pulling a substitution.
Hey, Derek's bunting probably. It's going to be Derek. I think he's probably going to bunt still.
You may hear the background chatter. It looks like they might bring in
Looks like Derek.
who is a bunter by trade.
ump confirming the substitution. Also making sure DT, the captain of Brola, lets Brick, the captain of Flying V, know.
Again, strategy takes away from the game. That's why it looks so boring out there. But everybody want to make the right play right here.
Takes the first pitch for a strike. Good pitch by Cashwell.
JC. Looks like they might walk. Derek? I don't know what the confusion is here.
So despite some discussion, looks like no change in this situation. Derek, the bunter, will remain at the plate with 1 strike. Lays down a bunt, picked up by Schulte. Thrown out at 1. Lisa does not choose to try to move on from second to third.
Hey, who's up at the gates? I just wasn't sure doing that.
Jipu up now. 1 down, runner on second. The go-ahead run, the winning run on second. Going for the bunt up the third base side. Looking to get on base. Perhaps even try and induce a throw from Schulte. Thus allowing Lisa to get to third.
Back up the bridge kick, Manny.
Applying a little bit of adjustment in their fielding.
Great
Good
pitch.
pitch. Good pitch.
Right on the inside corner, left side corner.
Great pitch right there. But here she's still on a bunting situation. Butt down 3. If they make that long throw, she get the advance from second to third with 2 outs.
Bunted back into Nikki Glaug's hands. Not able to keep a hold of it. If Nikki had been able to make that catch, that would have been huge for Flying V. Alas, not able to keep a hand on the ball. Here comes the 0-3 pitch. And Jipu fouls out.
That's a big pitch.
That's a very, very big pitch. A big out for Flying V. This really, really puts them in solid shape. Sydney up to kick now for Berola.
JC is locked in right here right now.
Yeah, he's dealing.
First pitch comes in for an easy strike. Sydney doesn't even take a step at it. Gotta suspect she'll be taking a swing at it at this point. With 2 outs, might as well try to get a little bit weird, see if you can get a ball to drop. Does take a swing. Hot little grounder just outside of the foul line. Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Still alive.
Schulte fields the ball, wisely makes the choice not to make any play with it whatsoever. Freezes Lisa at second. So now runners at first and second, 2 outs. Benny Bear.
Benny's arguably Brola's best female kicker. This is a dangerous situation for Flying V right now.
And that's going to be a no pitch. Cashwell not paying attention to his home plate ump, who is holding his hand up saying, "Don't pitch." Cashwell doing Cashwell things, doing his own thing. He don't take orders from nobody.
I mean, the man clearly bucks fashion trends, so not surprised here.
And here comes the 0-0 pitch to Benny. Takes the first pitch, pops it up. Nikki slurps it up, fires to Brick for the out. Benny just a little bit too eager there. Felt if she just laid back for a pitch or two, she probably would have gotten the ones that she wanted and at least made a little bit better play. So much backspin on that ball. It just bounced right back into Nikki's hands for an easy dish to Brick at first. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into the top of the 8th inning. And now, the last out kicker, Graham Duff will start on second base for Flying V. Brola will still be playing the same 4 guys, 4 gals, 8 people in the field for defense. And if you're Brola, you got to be a little bit nervous right now because this is the top of Flying V's lineup. They are dangerous. They are clever.
I don't like anything about you.
But in this situation, I'm taking the first out. Get the out. Do not hold that ball.
Yeah, you got to assume you're
'Cause
going to
you get a
score one
chance.
run.
Yeah,
and you got to give yourself, let them have a run, but outs are more important here. But one of the best runners in the game's up. It's Brick.
The real question is, do you think he's going to go up third to give himself another base runner, or is he just going to go right up first?
No,
He's just going to leave it on the ground regardless.
Yeah, he's just looking to put it in play. No pop-ups. That's the key here.
Let's hope no pop-up.
Here's the 0-0 pitch.
Oh.
Pop up back to where the
Oh.
pitcher was. But the pitcher had already faded off to the right side of the field, anticipating a bunt up 1, so he was out of the zone, could not make the catch. Charger has to come in and pick up the ball. That allows Brick to round first, get to second.
Do you think he could have made that catch if he didn't move off the mound so
I
quickly?
think if he hadn't bit so hard to his left side, the right side of the field, I think he makes that catch, gets an out, freezes Duff at second base.
And that's pretty much perfectly what Flying V wanted here. Now they're at second and third with nobody out.
So do we have a green light to swing away at this point, or?
I don't know. His dance behind the plate there, looking like he might kick, but Cam's more of a bunter.
I'm still bunting. No outs. If they try me, I'm still bunting. Give my boy Johnson coming up next. He's going to kick it out the park.
I agree.
See if he can get as many base runners as possible.
Yeah.
Best chance. And he
Wow.
pops it up. Infield fly ball. Caught, but Duff is still headed home. Flying V scores the first run of the game as Duff crosses the plate. 1 down, Brick on third. Not necessarily the prettiest way to score a run, but effective is better than pretty in kickball.
Yeah, that was a great result. Like Patty said, it wasn't pretty, but Brick gets to advance to third. Still 1 out with Schulte up here.
And again, same question. Does Schulte look to create himself a base runner, possibly turn 2 by bunting? Or does he take the shot to bring in a run and hope Flying V's defense can hold in the bottom of the 8th?
In this situation, I'm taking a shot to get up 2-0. So when we go back into the
Again,
overtime.
pop up inside the field, but that's going to work for Brick to run home, and he is safe. 2 outs, 2 runs across.
And that's what I would have did also. I would have did that too. Now going into playing defense, you got a comfortable lead of 2-0. So even on that first person being on second, if they score, they don't hurt you. Solid defense, win the game 2-1. Good. I would have did the same. I would have kicked out.
2 pop-ups to the short right side. Scores 2 runs. And there's a third pop-up to the short right side, and that one gets down. Called foul, called foul, called foul.
We had a kick behind the box. The kicker actually has to have his plant foot inside a box behind home plate, and that one was behind the line.
A little bit too far back, but he's got to be happy about it, having this extra shot, especially since they didn't catch it. You think somebody on Flying V would like to get a decent kick in. They did score runs, but they were not pretty kicks. There's a decent shot to the left side, but it curves just a little too much foul. That is the long ball that he wants, and he certainly didn't put a whole lot of effort into that kick. It was just good, solid contact.
You never want to
floated
kill
it beautifully.
That ball is coming at you so fast. You never want to kill the ball. Just get a good lace on it, follow through, go through your motions. Good contact is going to do that.
Let the physics do the work. The 0-2 pitch right now to Derek Johnson.
Look outside.
Lays off one on the outside. Count comes to 1-2. 2 down, top of the 8th inning. Flying V has to be happy by plating a couple of runs. Halfway decent shot to the right side. Benny gets under it for the 3rd out of the inning.
Benny, 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 Benny.
But damage done. Flying V plates a couple of runs.
2 runs might be good enough.
It might be. It might be. I believe Brola might be at their anchor.
I don't know. I think they're in the middle of their lineup.
Well, time will tell. We'll see who we see step up to the plate.
And we have Benny at second, starting it off.
I think you're right, Patty. They are with their anchor. Benny is going to start. She was on second base. She was the previous out of the last inning.
She's a speedy, aggressive base runner. Looks like no change in the defense for Flying V.
And this is when kickball turn into luck.
He's charging. He's got to make a play.
You want lucky plays right here. You're down. You don't want to be too aggressive, but you want to make the right play. If Benny scores and somebody get on, you got to be aggressive to get home. Then
Mario up to kick. No outs, runner on second. Brola doing their best to plate at least 2, preferably 3 runs for a walk-off. Cashwell comes in with his first pitch. Nice little twister coming to the outside right side of the plate. Gets a first strike on Mario. Oh, 1 pitch coming in. Pops the ball to the right-hand side, and it's down. It is down. Mario's going to get at least second, and they go for the out at second. Benny thinks about firing off home.
That's a smart decision. You can't get an out there on a bad base running mistake. Now we have Brola in the same exact situation that Flying V was in at the top of the inning.
Runners on second and third, no outs, and at the top of their lineup.
Let's see what they do. We saw Flying V play a little more traditional with the kicking, but we have one of Brola's best bunters up right now.
Cashwell coming in with the 0-1 pitch. Smoor takes a shot, left-hand side. That ball is down.
It's another down.
That ball is down.
Oh, no outs. And it's aggressive going home.
Benny's home.
Oh, it's a tie game.
Mario. Strong turn.
Oh, he's going to
third. Slow coming back in. And holy cow.
Hold on. Blue got something to say. Blue got something to say.
Oh, if that is called a foul ball. Oh, my goodness.
It
Let's
was
see the
behind
replay.
the box.
Oh, my goodness. He was behind the box.
Wow.
Flying V getting hit with a full team-wide defibrillator when the ump calls foul ball. Every single player on that squad had a heart attack. And now they're all breathing again. The magical CPR healing properties of the words foul ball. Well, it's up to Smoor to try and do it again. He did it once. Let's see if he can land it again.
Oh! On the replay, it looked like he was in.
That's going to be one of those ones that's argued about for years. But here's the 0-2.
Puts the same spot.
And that
it's another drop.
They're looking for the out. But one run does score, and Smoor is at second.
That was a humongous out going from second to third. 1 run is in. They're down 1 still.
Mario trying to go for some dodgeball skills. There's the missed catch. Picked up. Beautiful peg right there. So the run scores. Smoor gets to second. 1 out. 1 run scored. And Youngling up to kick.
I think it's Yingling.
Youngling.
He's not a hobbit.
I don't know. I bet she's got hairy toes. Got a hairy face. And last time I checked, he did probably waste about 3 months of his life trying to destroy a gold ring. That's right, folks. We are not above literary references here at the Kickball Circuit Cup Championship. We have read a book. 1-0. Here's Cashwell's pitch.
That's a
That
great
one
pitch.
catches the strike. Nice little twisty curve right across at the plate. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Cashwell. Youngling lays out a bunt up first, and nobody makes the play. Nicky had the ball in the pitcher's circle, but Nicky is not the pitcher, so Youngling could have gone for second.
In that situation, I'm turning two regardless.
Absolutely.
Because they make the play at two, the runner goes home and ties the game.
Absolutely.
What is wrong with the base coach?
So
what was the base coach thinking?
Walk-off run is on first base. Tying run is on third base. 1 out. And it looks like we've got a bit of a substitution situation because coming up to kick is DT.
This is Derek Thomas.
The D-train.
Great line drive kicker here.
Flying V feels like they probably have to make the catch.
Oh,
Popped up to
wow.
the infield. Cashwell comes in, makes the catch.
Oh, my God.
You gotta wait for a better pitch than
Just
the first
like
one.
Benny last
That
inning,
is-
swinging at the first pitch. Exactly, Tyson. You have to wait. You can afford to be patient.
There's no need to push the issue there.
And now all of a sudden, what was a very, very dangerously threatening Brola is 1 out away from losing this game, 1 run away from tying this game. Fury is up to kick, takes the first strike coming in.
Didn't do nothing but give JC a lot of confidence now.
Yep.
That's all he got to do is get it over the plate.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fury, ground
That's
ball.
trouble.
Picks up to Fishback. Fishback is
That's
not
a
able.
tie ball game.
She does not have a play. She does not have a play. She looked left to first, looked right to second, knew that she didn't have a play, wisely just dumped the ball back to pitcher, preventing any extra bases right there. But the damage is done. The score is tied.
That was a great place kick there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Get the ball in quick.
And we got Batman again.
Batman is up. Avery Kyle, your favorite player. You've been dissing this fella all night.
He's an easy out. He's definitely. Batman is going to pop up, easy out. 2-2, in game, another inning.
Lays off the first pitch. Wide to the left. First ball.
Don't get me wrong, that Batman on the back is pretty dope, but he has not did nothing in this game.
The walk-off run is on second base. This is just the quarterfinals match, folks. We could have just as tense games in the semifinals and the finals. Tries to swing around a little bit too much on it, chasing a pitch that he wasn't necessarily lined up for.
Because it's Batman.
Because he's Batman. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I want him to get a long fly ball that is caught in the outfield so that we can say Flying V is Robin Batman of a home run. There's another pun for you kids. We're here for at least 3 more games. High fly ball straight up the middle. Caught by
Secured.
Brick.
We're going to go into
We're going to the top of the
inning.
9th. The top of the 9th inning. Ladies and gentlemen, this is looking more like a baseball game than it is a kickball game. I've been sitting here for a long time. I'm exhausted. I'm dehydrated. If anybody out there in the world can hear me, bring whiskey and water. Maybe some ice. Perhaps a pizza. We're hungry. We're thirsty. And I take that back, folks. Word is we are not going to the top of the 9th inning. We are going to a shootout. Kyle Tyson, you're well versed with kickball. Explain to us the shootout aspect of circuit overtime.
So with a shootout, I believe the rules are you get 1 pitch, and it's the result of the pitch. So if it's a ball, the runner goes to first base. If he kicks a double, he goes to second base. A bunt, first base, and he gets on. Or it's if he takes it as a strike, he's out. So a lot of strategy for the kicker, and obviously you want to throw strikes if you're the pitcher.
This is
Got plenty of people chattering in my ear with some of the various scoring protocols of the shootout. I'm sure it's written down in the rule book that I have in front of me. But the whole thing seems confusing. Apparently, if you get a single, it's worth 1 point. If you get a double, it's worth 2 points. If you get a triple, probably worth 3 points. If you get a ball, it's worth 1 point. And you get to kick again.
Ah. I forgot the ball part of that, of overtime. We have a few refs in the booth with us right here. They're explaining it to us amateurs. We apologize for some discrepancies.
This is why we've been hired to talk and not hired to officiate the game. Once upon a time, the circuit would use the accuracy kick. That is to say, who could kick the ball closest to second base. They used 5 kickers to do that. But that went by the wayside because even though it did involve kicking the ball, it felt like it was not accurate enough to the spirit of the game. And so within the past couple of years, for overtime, they went to the shootout protocol, which is what we're setting up for right now.
Hey guys.
Oh, my bad.
So while we're waiting for this to get set up, I have been sent the rulebook definition for circuit overtime tiebreaker shootout. If the score remains tied at the end of circuit overtime, play shall continue with the following procedures. Shootout gameplay. I apologize, folks. Whoever sent me this thing, it's actually kind of confusing. Hey, we've got a rulebook here.
We have paper.
So,
very fine print.
Somebody read the fine print. I'm going to call the game as Mario gets up to pitch. Dan
going foul.
Kicks a foul ball. That is an out.
So they came up swinging, Flying V.
So, none scored for Flying V. Coming up next is Jesse Root.
Jesse Root is a good kicker here. He's definitely going to be kicking.
And he kicks a fly ball to the right center side. And it is caught. No points for Flying V. They're coming up swinging. They're coming up swinging poorly. 2 outs. No points thus far. And Todd Carey, who was subbed in earlier in the game, coming up to kick. Brick is telling him, do whatever you can just to get to first base. We need a point. Because after this is done, Brola will have the chance to answer.
Todd appears to be lining up for a bunt here. They just need something on the board.
Lays down a bunt, and he is. They're safe. They're safe. All right. Brola has some disagreement with that.
And we're going to go to the replay.
And let us see what happens there. Picked up, nice throw, and
Oh, I got an out.
I think that's out.
Wow, that's close.
I think that's out. Unfortunately, we do not allow digital
I think
replay.
That's an out.
But the 3 umps are talking it over.
It appears their gripes are.
They are calling safe.
Ooh.
But you got to have pretty significant evidence that the other refs saw to overturn a play like that when it's bang bang.
Absolutely.
I say next time, break them in the booth. Let's go to replay. Bring them to the table.
Flying V gets away with one there. Looks like Eric Jackson.
Brola chooses to leave the red flag in the pocket. They're going to advance to the next batter.
Foul bunt, and so.
And that's 1 run on the board. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, they get 5 kickers, not 3. 5 kickers, not 3. So they get 5 chances. Next up is Nicky Glaug. Decent little shot to right center. Caught.
So they only got 1 point out of
Only one.
shootout.
Only 1.
I say first person go get 2 and just call it a game.
Nah, you get 5 kickers, so why not just play traditional and play some bunts down? It's a hard play to make.
Brola's certainly going to be salty about that call.
And that's
at
why
first.
I'm new, and that's why you're a legend.
Hopefully they will.
Thank you, Avery. I appreciate the compliment.
Hopefully Brola will let that frustration and upset at the call at first work for them, not against them, because they only need 2 points.
We're a little unsure where Brola is at in their lineup. It does have an impact on their decision making whether to bunt or kick here.
They're all in pairs. Unless somebody else has it. If someone else has it.
A lot of shuffling around. Home plate ump trying to make sure everybody is back out of the field of play. Every other team in the tournament right now who's still playing are probably a little bit irritated as this game is going on way, way, way too long. Countertop is up for Brola. Currently the score is 2-3, and we are in shootout rules. Countertop lays down a bunt. Picked up by Nicole and
Out.
Called out.
Good play, good play, good play.
Solid play by Nicole. However, the umps are going to get together and they are going to
my
have
God.
a discussion.
Oh, that's an out. That's an out. Good stretch by Brick.
They're calling catcher encroachment here. That's one easy point for Brola. Bailed out.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So catcher encroachment leads to a run. We better have a look at that replay again.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Nicole.
Definitely encroachment. Good, great call by the ump.
1 point. So the score is now tied 3-3, but Nicole a little bit too aggressive. Countertop pops up and is out. So that is one kicker down because encroachment means 2 balls. A ball is a run and a redo. Roki Poo goes for a little bunt. Nicole picks it up, fires it to 1.
It's
Ball
game. Ball game.
Bobbled,
Ball
called
game.
safe. Brola
Ball game.
gets away with the shootout. The final score 4-3 in this quarterfinal match. What an exhausting long game. I'm sorry, 4-3 match, 4-3 match.
Technically, it was 2-2 at the end of regulation, and they then won 4-3.
4-3.
in overtime.
All right, that is your quarterfinal game. We'll be back shortly with the semifinals as soon as we know who's playing and what the featured game is going to be. I'm Patty Kellum for Avery Floyd and Kyle Tyson. We'll be back very shortly. Thanks, everybody.